Alright, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad. Today we have Novachan's deck list. I'm recording this one right after the Brody list, if you can see the continuity here. So let's take a quick look at the deck list to kind of remind ourselves what all is in it. So it looks like we are opting for AB2 Lynx and Kasaya for Kano. We have the spicy one of inclusion of the empowerment, and then we have the normal kind of setup on the gust waves, where you have 3 blue descending gust waves and 2 red descending gust waves, which is pretty solid. We also have a little bit of trimming on the biting breezes, and then Orihone as well. And then it seems like we got a pretty good setup in terms of, our E-strikes and our kind of sensors and our kind of more mid-range cards for the new matchup, which is pretty interesting. I've seen a lot of people actually like drop down on weakest link again because I don't think it's super crazy against new. But it's pretty just solid into like the Zen matchup and stuff. Again, 2 of that all you got also for the Zen matchup, and 3 of Snag. So let's take a quick look, I guess, at the ratios. So this one is the lowest blue count out of all the lists that we saw. So 27 blues, 30 reds. Let's, again, but Empowerment's almost like it's barely red. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and give it a spin. Again, I'm going to do these games kind of quick because we do have a lot of deck lists to go through, and I kind of just want to get general vibes of the list. So let's go ahead and play it on Talshar. I'm actually going to copy the deck list and see if we can join anyone else's game. Yeah, but I'm going to post the statistics right after this. So, yeah, let's see if we can just make our own game then. And hopefully we'll get someone. Let me make sure this is the right list. Looks like it with the AV setup. Yep. So we'll see who we get. Again, I'm going to have to manually sideboard this. It's very difficult to talk about 7 different decks and have all the lists like properly sideboard and everything beforehand. So thank you all for bearing with me. I know people like seeing like new deck lists, so I figured I'd just kind of like give you all a smorgasbord. And it looks like we have the bye. Okay, no, I'm kidding. But Kasai can be a little bit scary, but I think what we want to do against Kasai is just generally, I don't know what's better, first or second. Let's go second. And I think it is still kind of like a race matchup. Okay, they disconnected. A little bit too slow on the draw, apparently. Okay. Maybe go second now. Sure. We'll use our Kakara and then our Traverse, Shuko, all the good stuff. Sai likes to block a lot, so okay, they left again. That's totally fine. Understandable. Okay, it's a really bad matchup for Kasai, like terrible. So I understand why they left. All right. Okay, we have Boltyn. Is this real Boltyn or is this combo Boltyn? Let's find out. Combo Boltyn, actually. Okay, this is a hard matchup. So let's do our best. This is actually like the real Boltyn list, the list that you should kind of be afraid of. So I think from the people I've talked to, the general consensus with the combo version is you want to just save Traverse Kasaya for their turn to try to reduce the damage by 10 or so. Again, here we're blocking with the Chase and the Bonds to just kind of set up our graveyard. Ooh, that is a really nice draw. But is it worth it to go for it? Probably not. So start off the wind, or oops, I didn't mean to let that result. Sorry, my mouse slipped. Let's do Wind Chakra Stir. Let's gain our resource, and then I need to decide now whether or not we want to go for like Zen or if we want to potentially do something else with our turn. Could give up on the Orihone too as well, which is not like unreasonable. Problem is if we tuck a Tiger with E-Strike, we're giving up that value. So maybe what we want here is just a spinning so we can E-Strike and try to dig for our Art of War. I think it's reasonable. And we get the first spinning in the yard, which is pretty high value. You could have also gotten like Tiger Swipe. I don't think it's bad. Okay, so they are charging here, which is maybe a bad sign, but it also could just mean they're gonna do the D react that they have, the Saving Grace, I think it's called, which is a very scary card. Yeah, I think we're giving up on the Orion. I think we just want to draw a random card. Just try to dig for our ore as soon as possible. Okay, looks like they're blocking a little bit. So, hey, they don't have triple Lumina next turn. Okay, looks like they don't. Okay, do we want to try to go for it here? We do have everything lined up, but our arsenal is not amazing. I don't think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to be conservative with the Traverse Kasaya. I think that's what you have to do to kind of win this matchup, is just be really patient. Have they been sitting on their arsenal for a while? I can't really tell. That's also another thing. Okay, so they're blocking with Gallantry now. That's a little bit scary. So I think that they might be trying to pop off here. Which again, I think we can save our Traverse Kasaya for. Although maybe they're blocked. Maybe they're just trying to get the value out of it, but normally when they are on the combo turn, they don't want to block like at all, basically. So this almost leads me to believe that they don't have it. Okay, and this is like the perfect go off hand. Okay, so I think we have to do it now. Again, I really do like saving like Traverse Kasaya for like, you know, just the Boltyn turn, but I think this is maybe too good to not go for it. And again, maybe this is wrong. I can definitely see it being wrong, but again, this is a lot of damage. So we also have another Bonds in the graveyard. What is the best way to navigate this? Do we start with the Harmony? What's better here? I think we want to levels this turn. It's pitching levels, so we get an extra card out of levels, and we'll get 4 go again. Is it higher value to actually pitch the levels here? It's a good question. I'm not really sure what the answer is here. Because Harmony also has a really high upside. And again, I can't check what the combo count of this list is. I don't think this list is on Winds of Eternity, though. We do have a Chase already in Yard. So this Harmony basically represents +5, and then it can also have the high roll potential. Maybe keeping the levels is wrong. Or maybe trying to go for levels is wrong. But again, we got a little bit punished for that. That's fine. So let's do this now. I don't know actually which one is right. Although we find our new levels. So maybe it didn't matter a whole lot. But yeah, I'm not sure. So we want to start with our levels, I think. Because we'll always draw, so we'll use a resource, but we'll always at least guarantee draw into a red, which I think is important. So we'll do draw go. Turn into a blue, which I think is actually amazing. So this lets us do everything. Actually, it might have even been risky to try to draw into a blue there. But now we can do Descendant Bonds, Chase Aspect, finish on Maul and Key. So this is going to be a ton of damage. We'll get our Chase. And then we'll do... have we used our Kakara yet? Or have we used our Shuko trigger yet? Where do we want it is, I guess, the question. So I think we actually haven't used it yet. So I think what we want to do... We have... Wait, actually, hold on. Let me count the floating. Oh, I don't actually know if we can do everything. Yeah, we can't Kakara here. So that's fine. We'll do Tiger first. Again, it's pretty late at night, so sorry if I'm not piloting this perfectly. I'm just trying to think through at least my logic, just so you can hear what I'm thinking about instead of me just kind of staring at the screen and kind of misplaying. At least you'll know why I'm misplaying. But yeah, I think we're doing okay. We can still Kakara here theoretically if we wanted to. Again, I don't think it's going to be worth it here. Well, we're definitely doing Tiger. So we could have gotten 3 out of it, but now we're like pressuring lethal basically. If they want to block with this, they can block 4 here. Then they'd still take 4, so they need to give us 1 more card. I think this has been a... So I think... I don't know if it's results oriented, but I think that... How much did our Harmony do, actually? Let me take a look at that. I think we got... Does that kill? Okay, so they were sitting on double Lumina effectively. Okay, interesting. Bolden's hard. Like, they could have just cracked back and killed us there. Like, pretty easily. But we were just able to put on the pressure. So let me actually take a look at... Is there a way to take a look at how much damage that Harmony did? So we did Descendant, we did Levels, Descendant Bonds, Tiger, Chase, Aspect. So that Harmony got 5 value. The Levels would have gotten 4 draw cards, that's 7 value. And then we would have drawn into the Harmony. But the Harmony could also hit a card. I'm not sure what actually ends up being better there. It might have actually been the Levels. This is a really interesting conversation, actually. Someone who's smarter than me or who has more energy than me, let me know what actually the right play was there. I think there was actually like a... I'm not going to sit and do the math because I'm a bad player, but again, I think there might have actually been something that's right there. But I don't know if that's like always right or it's just contextually right. But anyways, we're going to try to do one more game with Nova Chance list again. I do not know how to sideboard this list, so we're just going to give it our best effort. And we'll get the normal stuff kind of set up. And let me make sure this is the right list. It looks like it. We haven't seen the spice yet, which is very important. Yeah, we have a Kano. Do we want more blues against Kano? Just like bring in the random snags. Okay, guess we'll never know. I've done that before where I've just brought in a random snag just to kind of pad the blue count because it can be a little awkward if you like 27 is definitely low in terms of blues. And we could have also tried out the if Kano stayed, we could have tried out Spell Void or the Lynx plus Type Flipper's Null Rune. But it looks like they're back, so let's actually go ahead and try this out. So this is gonna be exciting. I think we maybe just run the raw 60. Maybe we want actually the sensors over like CNCs just because they're a little expensive. And maybe we just bring in 1 YOLO blue. Oh, I don't hate that. I think the 1-for-5s are generally better than the 2-for-6s in a Kano. Okay, we have a parsing error. Interesting. Talishar doing Talishar things. Okay. So this is definitely a list where it is not respecting Kano super hard with this kind of setup here, but maybe we still go for it. And again, if we look at the list, there's not a lot of good targets for the Lynx at all. Okay, looks like we got the turn 1 Spindle too, which is really scary. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to overpitch a little bit. So we're going to get rid of, I think, our Tiger Swipe and then maybe the... Do we want to get rid of Red Descendant? I think so, probably. We just want to try to maximize our chances keeping a blue in hand. And then if they play something else, we also just have another blue, so it's fine. I think it's like... I think we definitely want to get rid of the Tiger Swipe. The Red Descendant's maybe a little bit more questionable. And again, this is pretty light in terms of Kano respect, so I wouldn't be surprised if we lost this one, is all I'm going to say. Again, but maybe like Nova might be a better player than I am, for sure. So let's see. All right, we drew the Art of War. Interesting, interesting. We have no combo cards in Graveyard. So our descendants get a lot worse. Hmm. What is the play here? I don't think we want links yet. Maybe we do? I have no idea. Yes? Question mark? Because we can at least develop out some stuff and get the this is loose. I'm not sure if I really like this. I kind of hate this actually. I just want to get stuff in the graveyard, which is a lot harder to do when you're playing against Kano. Then we can get a red descendant back was my idea here. But again, I don't know if this is correct at all. We now only have one red descendant in the deck. So, or I guess we have a blue descendant in the deck as well. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. Maybe we're supposed to like sandbag the chi for Zen State, but that doesn't feel great either. So then we're just sending like Descendant Needle or something. I don't know. Okay, we drew our red descendant again. Well, I think we're doing something here. I just don't know what. Let's pitch our Wind Chakra. I think we want to banish our Mauling Key, I guess. Because I think we want a blue just in case we draw another Transcend card. So maybe this is like the lowest denominator. Okay. Is this working? Could do 100 Winds, Close Chain, Descent Bonds, Arsenal, the E-Strike. That maybe seems okay. We'll still have two floating, ultimately. Oh, wait, whoops. Sorry, do you mind if I, oh, I fucked up. Close Chain, then Descent. Because I need to put 100 Winds in bin. Yeah, there we go. Now we get our 100 Winds going. And they're not blocking anything, so I think we are pretty much dead on AB2, especially with our hand, but we're going to pass it here. We're not going to needle just because we don't tap out our resources. We still have access to 2, which is not a lot in Kano, especially Kindle. So if they kill us here, they kill us here, which is definitely doable for them. Although Yellow Spindle is not necessarily the greatest hit on the turn. Okay, interesting. Okay, we see the Kindle. Makes sense. So we will go ahead and AB2 this. Again, AB2 is not exactly where I want to be in terms of Kano hate. AB0, and they still have two Kano activations left, so it's definitely a little scary. But they could also just whiff here and see like 8 terrible blues. It's not unheard of. Okay, they're gazing. So they had a red hand, so they don't actually have a ton of Kano activations. How many did they bottom, actually? I didn't pay attention. They bottom all of them. I think they bottom 8. It's hard to read with them playing stuff. Yeah, that was a bottom 8. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was taking a drink. Huh. Yeah, there's Spindle. It's pretty good, but it's still not killing me. But they haven't used Storm Stars and Metacarpus yet. And they basically get to stack their next 10 cards, which is like pretty good, honestly. Their digging was indeed successful. Yeah. Just opt. What was this? Opt 18? It's pretty good. Again, AV2, no Spellboy is a little uncomfortable for me. I'm not a huge fan of the Lynx, by the way. Like, Lynx has to be around like 4-ish damage, generally. So, we are faced with an interesting decision. They've stacked how many cards on top of their deck? They've stacked all their cards on top of their deck. So they probably have 4 blues in hand, and they know the top like 4 cards. Which means it's pretty likely that they're going to try to kill us here. I'm going to just go for 100 ones and see what they do. Or actually, wait. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go for levels here and see what they do. Is that right? Sorry, I am so tired. I'm gonna go for a needle. I've decided on the needle. Because at least this way we get I don't know. At least this way we get like 2 damage in and we know a little bit more. Oh, we should have started on levels. That was dumb. So we could have gotten super badly punished there, because if they do this in response when we have the Transcend card, then we won't be able to Transcend because we haven't played a blue. Okay, so I think the play there was actually to play levels for 3 go again into Needle and then pass turn, and if they play something else, then we just hit them with the Aspect, or we Arsenal it. Okay, it looks like they're passing though. Down to 2, which makes sense. So they have a lot of cards on top of their deck. They have the Tome. They have 2 tomes? Or, sorry, yeah, you're good. Huh. Curious what the top of their deck is. It's just maybe a bunch of tomes and blues. Okay, Flare is a little scary. Oh, I don't think we can afford to take this Flare is the issue. Maybe we can. Wait, AB2 the Flare. They could just kill us off this Flare, though, is the issue. So on our turn, what do? We can Aspect, or we Harmony, Aspect, hold back the Transcend card. And we have a red. So maybe we can get away with actually getting rid of the Art Aura. Oh, AV2 is so suspect. Oh, I hate it. This feels a lot closer than a lot of my other Kano games. Like, the Spellboy 2 AB2 is just, like, super gross into them. So how much is coming? This comes in for 5, and then if they get the Blazing, which they can easily get, right? Then that's 5 plus 5, so it's 2, yeah, they would kill us, so we need to AB this now. So to AB that, we are going to pitch our Harmony, I guess. They get Blazing potentially. Yeah, I think we're just cooked here. Don't think there's a way out, although I think we could have maybe played a little bit better. I don't. Yeah, that Mask of the Pouncing Lynx turn on turn 1 was strange for sure. The guy has Spindle off the top. Why? I guess it deals as much as Blazing. I guess that makes sense. I don't think we can afford to. Well, we have to AB1, right? Like, I don't think we can afford to pay extra into that. Because our turn is just going to be spinning. And they topped 2. So we'll start with the spinning, and then like we only have AB2, so if they can get anything past AB2, I think we pretty much lose. And then we lose if we play Aspect, right? Because if we Aspect, then they can just block 3 and pass back to their turn and deal a million to us. So like that's not an option. I feel like we could. Alright, maybe Needle was actually the play. Oh, Needle's the play. I'm dumb. If we Needle, then the. Yeah, if we Needle, then we have 2 float, but we still have the 3 back in hand to hold back. I don't think it matters here, though. Because this comes in for 5. Oh, I can't even see it. 2. And then this comes in for 4, and then we die. Yeah. So it would not have mattered there had we held back, but yeah. Maybe it's like, again, I think this list is slightly hedging that Kano is not there. I feel like Lynx isn't very good. If you're not running like Salt or something, it's a lot weaker. I don't know. But again, Nova is a very good player. They play a lot of Zen. So maybe they're onto something I'm not. And then also that turn 1 was, I think, pretty bad, but I don't know if there was a good. I don't know if there was like a super like. I don't know if there's like a significantly better play. Again, we're flushing bad. We play poorly a lot of the time. So hope you all enjoyed the games. Again, let's do like a quick recap of this deck. The AB2 is a little suspect. The Empowerment never came up, which is expected as a one of. What else was interesting? We never got to test the new board, which I think is solid. This is like pretty close to what I have. I think I'm at 2 snags right now, two out Yachts, and I think like 2 sinks. So pretty similar, although they're up on like 1 more snag than I am. I did want to try out the sensors at some point. The sensors seem really interesting. I don't actually know who these are for. I mean, I think they're probably for like Zen and probably for like Zen and maybe new, just so you can have a little bit more control over kind of what they're doing. But yeah, I think this is a pretty spicy list. I like this list a lot. The 1-up empowerment's really solid. The sensors are really cool. The wax on is really cool. So 10 out of 10 on the spice meter. 4 out of 10 on the Kano respect. But overall solid list. I think this is a pretty decent list. Still needed to kind of figure out the empowerment though. I don't know if that's actually like worth doing, but we'll see. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the games, and I'll see you all next time. For now.